Don't! Desperate times call for desperate measures. Which aisle is it? Where is the wood slickener? All right, that's where I need to be. Okay, helps enhance intimacy. Maybe it'll help me get inside that crawl space. Listen to that. That wood right there is so hard a cat can't scratch it. But I got news for you. I got news for you, baby. Let me get this open. God, I've had worse stuff than that in my mouth. Rub it in, all up the sides. You want to get that hole slicker than it's ever been slicked before, baby. Oh, that feels real nice. All right, guys, Tanner Flowers here, coming at you today from another brand new crawl space encapsulation project that we just finished up. And this particular project right here, guys, this little bad boy, it's going to be one of the toughest crawl space encapsulation projects that I've ever shown you. We have been working our butts off over here, and this project right here, what's so crazy about it is that I didn't just inspect this crawl space a year ago. I didn't inspect this crawl space 2 years ago. You might say, well, what was it, 3? No, you'd be wrong. I inspected this crawl space 4 long years ago. And guys, Miss Kinzer wanted to get the moisture work taken care of then. Timing just wasn't right. All these years later, her grandson, my longtime friend, Brad, actually lives here now. He and his wife just literally gutted the entire inside of this house. It is immaculate inside. I'm talking just drop dead, beautiful, gorgeous home. I love it. And guys, they said, Tanner, final step, we want to get all that moisture taken care of in this crawl space so that it doesn't ruin all of our new stuff that we've just done inside the home. You see, Brad actually has some sense and he knows a lot about construction. He's owned many businesses himself. And Brad, we appreciate the work and I hope you enjoy what you're getting ready to see. Guys, before I take you inside this crawl space, I want to show each of you just how low this thing is and what we were up against before we got started on this project just a few short weeks ago. Check this out. Right off the bat, you're going to see that there was not an actual crawl space entry door on this project. And once I slid inside that, I was welcomed by none other than standing water and lots of mud. And then on top of all of that mud, as you're going to quickly see, was the largest amount of debris inside of a crawl space project that we've had to remove in quite some time. And as I make my way throughout this super tight crawl space, look at how damp that ground was, and notice there was no actual moisture barrier on the ground whatsoever. So all of that moisture, as you may already guess, was left to do nothing but come up and be absorbed into the subflooring of the home. As a result, all of that old aluminum paper type, so to speak, insulation was already falling down completely onto the ground. Look at how much garbage was right there that we had to pick up. I couldn't tell you how many contractor bags that we actually brought out of this crawl space and had to take to the dump. Going underneath these 2 duct lines right now, you're actually going to see some video footage from the actual inspection of how tight that was whenever I inspected this home, because those duct lines were literally crushing my face into the ground as I attempted to go underneath them. And as I reached all the way up into the furthest point of this front crawl space that no one had ever been able to access, look at this. Look at this, guys. You see this right here? Let me get you all just a little bit closer to it here. Check this out right here. Look here. Look at that, guys. Put your hand on the ground in front of you. Make a fist. Go to give yourself a thumbs up. Then imagine having something right here in front of you that you can't even extend your thumb all the way upward. And that's exactly what I'm about to have to crawl under right now. Here we go. Check this out. Okay. Gonna do my best. See if I can get under here. Oh God. Oh, I squished in my face and my arm is trapped. Oh shit. Oh, I hope you guys can see all this. I've lost my hat. I will talk to all of you in the next video. See you later. Sliding back across the mud now, making my way back outside the crawl space, showing you this entry for the last time. I told you, it's something else, huh? You wouldn't want to be crawling under this thing, would you? I highly doubt it, much less working underneath here. And as if a crawl space encapsulation project wasn't already going to be hard enough underneath this super tight crawl space, we had to do an entire inside perimeter French drain to get rid of the standing water that was right here as soon as we went inside this crawl space door. Drew actually had to construct a metal framing for this crawl space door because the door being so low to the ground, we didn't want to take a chance of any water that may get right down there in that reservoir doesn't hurt any of that framing because the framing is actually metal. Not an easy one to get into, guys. But once you get in here, just like on all of our projects, just reach right overhead, flip that light switch, and you got lights throughout this entire crawl space encapsulation project. Woo! First things first. Right there to the right of the crawl space entry, you're going to see our sump pump basin. Inside here is our sump pump, which will capture any water from our inside perimeter drain line that goes literally throughout the entire inside perimeter of every foundation wall inside this crawl space. And that inside perimeter drain line leads all captured water right here to the basin. And you can see, if you look close, guys, right down there, the sump pump, that water then trips a float switch, comes up this drain line through that check valve, down this discharge line, all the way outside the home to a pop-up drain where it dismits the water out into the yard where it is no longer any problem underneath this home. All of the poly that you guys see in this crawl space is a 20 mil, guys. Yes, that's right, the big 2-0, 20 mil fiberglass reinforced poly. It's like working with linoleum, but it makes for the best crawl space encapsulations that can be done today. As a homeowner, you need to know a crawl space encapsulation itself is not solving your moisture problems. No, quite the contrary, actually. Whenever we finish the crawl space encapsulation, before we get the dehumidifiers turned on, crawl space moisture levels, depending on the time of year, but in the summertime especially, they are well above 75%. The crawl space that I was just inspecting earlier today, all the duct lines underneath it were literally raining on top of me. But when you've got this 20 mil poly right here, tag teaming with our big Churnlin V2D Humidistat fans, those are the exhaust of our system, and our top of the line Santa Fe dehumidifiers, which we actually have 2 of our compact units inside this crawl space. It was actually too low to the ground for any of our larger Santa Fe advanced units. Once I crawl under this, guys, you'll see I've reached a point where I can't go any further, and I've got to turn around now and go right back through here down there towards the crawl space entry. All that overhead, guys, is the best floor insulation money can buy. That's your John Mansville R19 poly encapsulated comfort therm floor insulation. Guys, it's the only insulation we've used since 2008, and it's the only floor insulation that we will install. And you might be wondering, man, I wonder where that super tight spot is that Tanner had to crawl through during the inspection that he did. Guys, both inspections, the one I did 4 years ago and the one I just did a few weeks ago. And if you're wondering where that spot is, it's just right up here. Right up there, guys. Right underneath that duct running right down through there. That's what I had to crawl under inspecting this home years ago and just a few short weeks ago, like I mentioned. And whenever Brad's wife, Jennifer, called me up and told me, see, I didn't recognize Jennifer's name. I had never spoken to her before. But as soon as she told me where this house was, in my brain, I was like, oh no. I remembered, I have to crawl under that. But lucky for Brad and Jennifer, although I highly doubt Brad's gonna make Jennifer get under here ever. We made it so that they don't have to crawl under that ever again. And I'll show you guys how we resolve that issue here in just a few moments. But in the meantime, just wanted to give you all a shot of that back wall there behind me. Look how straight the top of all that is. And I will be able to give you guys a close-up of that once I get on the other side of this crawl space here in just a few minutes. Right up here, guys, is our first Santa Fe compact dehumidifier that is underneath this crawl space. That is our condensate pump right there in front of it. And as you may have just seen, water comes out of the unit, goes inside the condensate pump, goes up and over right into a P-trap, where it then exits the home, and all this moisture that has been collected is no longer problematic underneath this house and causing all of the moisture problems that it once was. And that circle that you see right there on the back of that unit, right now there's a ton of air coming out of that, and all of that air is actually the dehumidified air that is coming now inside the crawl space. And that exhausted air coming out of that dehumidifier, guys, once you seal all of these walls up like what we have right here in this crawl space and what you see us doing in all of our crawl space encapsulation projects, if you do not create an exhaust system for this air that is exhausted from those units to escape, then you will be left with stagnant air coming up inside your household. If you will look at our Churnlin V2D right here, notice that thing is set to 30% and it's already kicked off. That's because our system here has got moisture levels inside this crawl space. Well, we know to at least 30% right now, or else that unit right there would be running. I've got a tight little obstacle right here in front of me now, guys, to go underneath. And I am going to go ahead and crawl underneath this because I want Brad and Jennifer to see. Look at this, guys. I don't know if you guys can tell, look. That's how tight this is right here, all the way down to that wall right there to my left. Yeah, exactly. And it's tighter. Look here now, I can't even turn my hat. You know, whenever you can't even turn your head with your hat on, that you're going through some tight stuff. But when you get out here on the other side, look how good all this looks, guys. I love showing our customers that you can rest assured we don't cut any corners here at Tennessee Technicians, and we won't cut any corners on your project either. This now sums up this back side of the home, guys. Now I want to take you guys back outside the way we actually came in, and I want to show you guys how we resolve matters so that Brad and Jennifer no longer have to crawl underneath all of that right there in order to access the crawl space on the front side of this house. I've actually lost count of how many crawl spaces I have been inside this week alone. But this crawl space right here, even though it's low, it is way, way better conditions than anything I have been crawling this entire week. Wow. It's wearing me out, guys. It sure doesn't look like the same crawl space under here now, guys, than what I seen under here a few short weeks ago. Drew, you and Cole have done an absolute fantastic job, as usual. Thank you so much, man. And I may not come out and say it to you out loud every day, buddy, but man, I appreciate you. Man, I wish I had 10 more friends just like you. But man, you already know, you and just a few others, y'all are at the top of my list, and I'd do anything to help you guys out. And for all of you calling me from out of state, rest assured, Drew is the one that will be showing up and taking care of your crawl space problems as well. And now, instead of having to go underneath the dreaded 4 inches of doom, guys, we've built a brand new crawl entry down here on the opposite side of the home. It's never been here before. They've never been able to access this. And now you can go inside this bad boy. Some of us can anyway, right there. You're not gonna believe how tight this thing is. Check this out. Man, I know my buddy Brad's gonna be so happy to be able to just go right under here and not have to worry about climbing under that thing that I've been having to climb under. Man, desperate times call for desperate measures. I gotta go find a solution. I don't even know what tool I gotta get. I don't know if I need to go to Lowe's, Home Depot. Hey, I know where I need to go. I got the perfect idea. Man, I can't believe I didn't think about this 10 minutes ago. Which aisle is it? Where is the wood slickener? All right, that's where I need to be. Let's see, which one do we need? Which one do we need here? Okay, helps enhance intimacy. Maybe it'll help me get inside that crawl space. I'm about to teach all you contractors a little secret. Telling you guys one thing right now. I'm getting inside that crawl space. I've tamed a many stubborn hole in my day. I got news for you. You'll not conquer Tanner Flowers neither. I mean, guys, listen to that. That wood right there is so hard a cat can't scratch it. But I got news for you. I got news for you, baby. Let me get this open. God, I've had worse stuff than that in my mouth. Man, things are always stubborn. Yeah. I'll show you some. Woo! Can't even hardly hold on to the bottle. It's so slick. Look here. What you want to do, you just get it real good, guys. Get it really good on there. And then you're going to want to take your fingers, guys, and just rub it in real good. Rub it in. All up the sides. You want to get that hole slicker than it's ever been slicked before, baby. Oh, that feels real nice. Let's see if that did the trick. Woohoo, doggies. Now that I've got that on there, oh yeah, I can already tell the difference. Look at that. People don't believe it until they actually feel it for themselves. Look at that. Slid right on in here, baby. Let's go check this bad boy out. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness. I'd give anything if Miss Kinzer was able to see underneath her old house right now. This is unbelievable. As we make our way along the front wall of the home now, coming up here on our right is another one of our Humidistat fans. Those are the Churnlin model V2D units, and we install those on every single crawl space encapsulation project that we do here at Tennessee Technicians. And I'll give you guys a close-up of our compact unit here in just a few moments. And for those of you that watch all of our videos, I'm sure you're going to recognize all that brand new R19 poly encapsulated insulation overhead. And then right here beside me is our Santa Fe compact dehumidifier. Now, in most crawl space homes, you will typically see us installing our advanced unit, which is quite a bit larger than the compact unit here. But don't let its size fool you. This compact unit pulls nearly 90 pints of water a day out from under a home. We've got that set to auto. And check out that dial, guys. I always like to set them between 7 and 7:30. And if you do that, guys, you'll see your water dumping down into your condensate pump here. And then that simply goes up, over, and connects right up here. We lack the clearance under this crawl space to install our normal P-trap. So on this particular install, we had to loop our drain line. And as you can see, that air right there, that creates a P-trap in itself. Let's continue the crawl space encapsulation tour now. Actually, right now would be an excellent opportunity for me to insert some before photos of what all of this that lies ahead of me right here looked like just a few short weeks ago before we actually began this project. Hard to believe that's the same place, isn't it, guys? Wow, never ceases to amaze me. But when you combine our 20 mil poly with our lights and our Santa Fe dehumidifier systems, guys, along with our talent and work ethic, it always makes for an incredible finished project. And see, guys, this right here, put your elbows out in front of you. Pull yourself along. Elbows out in front of you, pull yourself along. That's how you get through these super tight crawl spaces, and that's why I'm built like a brick you-know-what house. Just kidding. And that's why I firmly believe that doing this work is actually one of the best core exercises a person can do. Wow, my stomach is actually in knots right this second. All right, let me hit a quick spinarooski here, and we're going to head back on down that way. Coming up here on our right, you're going to see that entry in between the foundation walls that leads over into the back side of the house and the 4-inch dreaded, God, I don't even know what you want to call it, area that I hope I never have to crawl through again. I'm sitting here editing this video right now, and I just realized I didn't hit record on that entire clip that I crammed myself up in a tiny ball to get up in there and record all that straight edge wall work that Drew had less than a 12-inch gap to work in. I'm so aggravated. And that's that the person doing that job right there cares about their reputation and cares about what the end project looks like and wants to get more projects in the future based off that exact reputation. Let's carry on. All right, you little workhorse. I'll see you again. I'll see you again, baby. We'll be back in about 6 months to change your filter. Guys, when you're servicing these units, you always want to make sure that you change the filters inside them a minimum of every 6 months, or you're just asking for problems with your brand new dehumidifier. Woo! I don't know how hot it is where you live, but we came just shy of 100 degrees here today in Cleveland, Tennessee. And I'm telling you, man, inside this crawl space encapsulation right now, it's an absolute scorcher. Man, stopping and buying that jelly at Walgreens was the best move I ever made. I gotta be careful coming at that thing now. Whoa! Oh, oh. Man, that stuff is slick. Woo! Guys, that KY jelly, man, that is sure some slippery stuff. But you know what? I want to thank all of you for tuning in to another one of our videos. And say, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and drop down there right this second, guys. Smash that subscribe button. Leave us a like. Drop me a comment right now. Take a look with your own 2 eyes, and you'll see I do my best to answer each and every comment left on this channel. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to talk to each of you inside our next project video.